1,000 American-made military vehicles and armored vehicles. These include Humvee tanks, Ranger, International, Crane, Bucket, Forklift, Mole, tanker, and agency-used vehicles. The Taliban's Ministry of Defense claims that these vehicles were repaired over the past year, despite not being used for 10 years or more. Mullah Mohammad Isa Yassin emphasized that these repaired vehicles will be handed over to the entities associated with the Taliban Ministry of Defense. The Taliban Ministry of Defense also claimed that they repaired 270 Russian and American weapons at the Central Corps 313 repair shop. The ministry stated that these light and heavy weapons include Svinganen, M49, M40, Zhikovic, and DSK bullets. After signing the peace agreement with the U.S., the Taliban, who had been capturing Afghan villages and cities one by one with their old motorcycles and Kalashnikovs, are now challenging their enemies using American military helicopters and airplanes. The U.S. Department of Defense claims that from 2005 to August 2021, it spent $18.6 billion to equip the previous Afghan government's armies. However, during the withdrawal of foreign forces and the collapse of the then Afghan government, equipment worth $7.12 billion was left behind for the Taliban. In a report presented to the U.S. Senate in April, the Pentagon reported that the remaining equipment in Afghanistan, now in the hands of the Taliban, includes aircraft, helicopters, air-to-ground military equipment, armored vehicles, tanks, communication equipment, and other light and heavy weapons. Taliban's aircraft and helicopters. Before the Taliban returned to power, the Afghan government had 226 military aircraft and helicopters. Some of these aircraft and helicopters were non-operational, and some were sent abroad for repairs. On August 15, 2021, hours after the news of Ashraf Ghani's escape became public, several pilots moved 61 of these aircraft and helicopters to Uzbekistan and Tajikistan. Pentagon: $7 billion worth of U.S. military equipment is in the hands of the Taliban. According to the U.S. Department of Defense report, when American and NATO forces left Afghanistan and Ashraf Ghani fled Kabul, the Taliban gained 13 aircraft, 44 helicopters, and 7 Scan-Eagle surveillance drones, all of which were active and operational. The Taliban also captured 73 non-operational aircraft and helicopters, including 28 aircraft and 43 helicopters. Oryx, a defense and intelligence analysis organization focusing on Syria, Iraq, and Afghanistan, reports that the Taliban have 13 active aircraft. These include 1 A-29B attack aircraft, 1 Cessna 208 utility aircraft, 3 L-39 training aircraft, and 8 AN-32 transport aircraft. According to this organization, the Taliban also have 45 helicopters, all of which are